In a recent episode of The View, co-host Sunny Hostin made controversial remarks about former First Lady Melania Trump, suggesting she hates her husband and wants to take him out.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
It all started when The View took aim at Melania Trump in one of their typical roundtable takedowns. But this time, they didn't just go after her politics, they went after her marriage, personal choices, and even her character. During a heated discussion, Sunny Hostin, Whoopi Goldberg, and Joy Behar made a series of bold claims about Melania, questioning everything from her love for her husband to her role as First Lady. She doesn't even want to be married to Donald Trump. She didn't like being First Lady. She wanted out. She hates Christmas and didn't want to decorate the White House.
Anymore.
They agree with
She
you.
doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want
care.
anything
She
to
doesn't
do with
care
him.
about that.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him.
The tone of the conversation? Mocking and dismissive, as if they were gossiping at a brunch table, rather than discussing a former First Lady of the United States. And if that wasn't enough, they revived an old conspiracy about Melania's marriage, implying that she and Donald Trump don't even live in the same house, and that she's just tolerating him for personal gain. The audience laughed. The co-hosts smirked. And within minutes, clips of the conversation went viral, but not for the reasons The View probably hoped. The backlash was swift and brutal. Many saw the comments as crossing the line, sexist, and flat-out defamatory. Social media erupted, questioning how the same women who preach feminism could tear another woman down so casually. But the internet wasn't the only one taking notice, because that's when the rumors of Melania's lawsuit started circulating. And once that happened, things really spiraled out of control. The internet exploded with headlines claiming that Melania Trump had officially filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against The View and Sunny Hostin. Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it now, was flooded with reactions, some people cheering, others questioning whether this was even possible. But here's the truth. The lawsuit doesn't exist. That's right. Melania Trump never sued The View. The entire lawsuit story was completely fake, a classic case of internet misinformation spiraling out of control. So where did this rumor even come from? It started as a meme, a post claiming that Melania was taking legal action over The View's disrespectful comments. The post looked real enough and included an exaggerated claim that Melania had already won the lawsuit and was walking away with $900 million in damages.
I filed a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life, and they wrote lies, and I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation and my name.
Then, as always, people ran with it. Some YouTube channels and influencers started making videos about it. They took old clips of Melania from 2016 interviews, edited them together with Joe Rogan's recent podcast rants, and made it seem like Melania was actually suing. Within hours, the fake story took on a life of its own. People were celebrating, calling it karma for Sunny Hostin after she tried to ambush conservative thinker Coleman Hughes on The View, a moment that Joe Rogan had already torn apart weeks earlier.
I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
You know, that's sort of, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, who are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart, but captured.
But here's the problem. While everyone was focused on a lawsuit that never happened, they completely ignored an actual lawsuit happening in Sunny Hostin's own home. And that's when Joe Rogan entered the conversation, and he did not hold back. If there's one person who wasn't going to let The View slide, it's Joe Rogan. While the internet was obsessing over the fake lawsuit, Rogan set the record straight and ripped into The View harder than ever before. On his hugely popular podcast, Rogan called out the hypocrisy of the show, reminding his audience that just a few years ago, Trump and Melania were welcomed guests on The View. Back in the early 2000s, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and even Barbara Walters used to praise Donald Trump whenever he made an appearance. They laughed at his jokes, hugged him, and treated him like a friend. But the moment he became a serious political contender, everything changed. And now, years later, they were going after Melania Trump, not for her politics, but for her marriage, her choices, and even her personal feelings. That's when Rogan dropped the hammer. If you average out the IQ of the View hosts, you might still struggle to reach triple digits, Rogan said, mocking the panel for their lack of depth and insight.
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say.
He didn't stop there. Rogan called the show a rabies-infested henhouse, criticizing the way conservative guests are treated whenever they appear. If you're a conservative and you go on that show, it's like walking into an ambush, he said. They don't want a discussion. They want a takedown. His audience ate it up. Clips of his rant went viral across social media, with thousands of people piling on The View for their constant double standards.
I mean, it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
But Rogan wasn't just mad about the fake Melania lawsuit. He was frustrated with how the internet latched onto a lie while ignoring real scandals. Because while people were spreading fake news about Melania, there was a very real lawsuit unfolding involving Sunny Hostin's own family, and somehow nobody was talking about it. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. The internet wasted no time turning this fake lawsuit into a full-blown spectacle. Within hours, social media was flooded with posts celebrating what many called Melania's revenge against The View. Even conservative influencers jumped on the bandwagon, sharing edited clips of Melania giving speeches, spliced together with headlines about the lawsuit, making it look even more believable than it already was. And let's be honest, a lot of people wanted this to be real. For years, The View has taken shots at the Trumps, mocking Melania's accent, her intelligence, and even her role as First Lady. Many saw this fake lawsuit as a poetic dose of karma, even if the story itself was completely false. But here's the irony. While everyone was obsessing over a lawsuit that never happened, the real scandal, one that actually involved Sunny Hostin, was being completely ignored by the same media outlets that love to stir up drama. And this lawsuit wasn't just some internet rumor, it was happening in Sunny's own home. While The View hosts were dragging Melania Trump's personal life on national television, Sunny Hostin's own household was dealing with a federal lawsuit, and barely anyone was talking about it. Her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, a well-known orthopedic surgeon, has been named in a massive insurance fraud case involving nearly 200 doctors. The lawsuit, filed by American Transit Insurance Company, claims that Dr. Hostin, along with other medical professionals, racked up millions in fraudulent claims by billing for unnecessary procedures and pocketing illegal payouts disguised as dividends and bonuses.
Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
This is serious. If these allegations are true, it could mean jail time, major fines, and the end of his medical career. But strangely, The View, a show that has no problem airing out everyone else's scandals, has been completely silent about this one. Instead of owning the controversy, Sunny Hostin went on the defensive, calling the lawsuit a disgusting smear campaign against her husband. And, of course, the mainstream media barely covered it. While the fake Melania Trump lawsuit was being treated as breaking news, Sunny's husband's very real legal battle was conveniently ignored. Even Joe Rogan called out the hypocrisy, pointing out that if this had been a conservative politician's spouse, it would have been front-page news for weeks. So, the question is, why was the media so eager to believe a fake lawsuit but refuse to cover a real one? Is this just another example of selective outrage, where only certain scandals are deemed newsworthy depending on who they involve? Or was this a calculated move to bury a story that made one of The View's hosts look bad? Either way, it's clear that while The View was busy attacking Melania, the real scandal was much closer to home, and Sunny Hostin might not be able to ignore it for much longer.